Here's the exact reason why you're intimidated by other women in the gym and in the workplace. I was at the gym this morning and, as I normally do, I go into a bit of a daydream in between the sets, and I was just thinking about how my journey in the gym has changed so much in the past few years. If you'd seen me in the gym 5 years ago, not that long ago, when I was coaching, when the gym was meant to be my workplace, my safe place, the place I felt the most confident, you would genuinely not even recognize me. I remember I used to walk into the gym covering up in baggy clothes. I'm obviously wearing this because it's cold right now, but previously it would have been for other reasons because I felt so insecure in my body. I was constantly covering up, and as soon as I walked through those gym doors, it was like this rush of anxiety just hit me in the face, and I didn't want to be there. And obviously I needed to be there because I worked there, but I also needed to train. And it was such an uncomfortable time for me, and this went on for months. And when I was in the gym, whether I was training myself or training a client, I used to feel so intimidated by other women in the gym. And these women looked incredible, right? I would see them doing all of these different exercises, pull-ups, hip thrusts, you name it. And I was like, wow, I am so jealous of you. And very quickly that jealousy turned into anger. Not anger at them, but anger at myself. I was so frustrated. I was so just pissed off that I didn't feel and look the way that they did. And I very quickly realised that was my fault. But at the time, in those moments, I would have conversations in my head, basically blaming these other women, saying stuff about these other women, not negative stuff, but negative stuff in a way of, how dare they look like that? They must have great genetics. Of course they didn't have great genetics, or whatever that means. They just worked so bloody hard and had incredible standards, and I had none. My standards were so poor, and I was even more ashamed and embarrassed and angry because I was obviously coaching other women to raise their standards, yet mine were rock bottom. I was not training properly. I was not eating properly. I remember me and Nat used to sit in the staff room. We'd go to B&M on our lunch. Then we'd sit in the staff room with marshmallows and melted chocolate every day. And that is no word of a lie. We'd get those massive ones from B&M and just sit there and devour them. And then I had the right, or thought I had the right, to be pissed off at other women that were working hard. Madness. And that's why I get so frustrated now with other women who sit there and moan and say, it's all right for you, it's all right for you. Because you have no idea what goes on in someone else's life. I had no idea what was going on in those women's lives. No idea. And they still made no excuse. It was the same women. You'd see them over and over again. They looked insane. And I was such a jealous bitch of them because I was not doing the work myself. So if you're feeling intimidated right now when you step into the gym, I get it. Because that used to be me. And I had to hold that mirror up to myself and go, Rach, sort yourself out because your standards are poor. You're trying to tell other people to raise their standards. You're not being a leader yourself. And it doesn't matter how busy you are. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. Honestly, none of that matters. What matters is what you decide to do and what standards you decide to commit to. Those women had incredible standards, and I guarantee every single one of them had something going on in their life that no one was aware of, but they just cracked on and got it done. And another reason why when women say, you don't have kids, Rach, or whatever it is, I don't have kids. I never sit here and say I've got kids. That makes no difference if I've got kids and you do. What makes a difference is what you're prepared and willing to commit to. Everyone has stuff going on in their lives. If you cannot be asked to put your health first, none of that other stuff will matter. Because there will become a point where you cannot put that stuff first and you'll wish that you put your health first. I know I digress slightly, but the point is, if you are feeling intimidated when you walk into a gym or the boardroom or your office or wherever it is, just know that it is a reflection of you. It is not because the other women got luckier, and so what? If they have really good genetics and their bum grows after 2 hip thrusts, good for them, right? But so what? That should make no difference to what you decide to do and the standards you decide to commit to. I had to learn the hard way, and it didn't take me watching someone's YouTube video to learn that, but I'm hoping it does for you, because it took me years to overcome it. I have been a coach for nearly 9 years. I can confidently say that it's been in the past 2.5 to 3 years where I feel amazing. And not just for my holidays, I feel amazing all year round. I spent nearly 6 years coaching, feeling uncomfortable myself. Please don't make the same mistake that I did. Please stop being the person that judges other women. Understand that it's a reflection of yourself. Understand that you are not doing anything to help your situation. Because if you were, you would not have those feelings. Even if you're not where you want to be, you still would not be angry. You wouldn't feel jealous. You wouldn't feel intimidated. You would know that you were on your way to get to that point. And that's why so many women do feel that way. That's why so many women are jealous. That's why so many women are judgmental. I used to be that person. I will never deny that. I used to be the person that would think life had been unfair to me. And do you know what's mad? Since I've started taking action, worse things have happened in my life, but I don't feel that way anymore. I don't have that, life is unfair attitude. Because it is an attitude. It's not truth. It's an attitude. There are things that are unfair. Life can be cruel, but you have so much that you can control, and that includes your standards. And that's the thing you should be focusing on. Do what you can do to get yourself results, because you won't feel intimidated anymore when you walk into the gym or the boardroom. Instead, you will walk in there with confidence, and you will have other women who are not doing what they need to do look at you. And they will be thinking, wow, she has it all. I hope this episode has hit home. I hope you're like, Rachel's right. She does talk sense. And I hope the next time you walk into the gym and you get that rush, that anxiety, the intimidation feelings start to come, just silence them, pause for a moment and remind yourself, if I keep showing up, I will have no reason to feel intimidated because I will become that person. And that's what you should be aiming to do. Hope this episode has helped. I would love to know what your biggest takeaway is, what your biggest realization is, or maybe you just thought, Rach, shut up because this has not helped. Either way, I would love to know. Send me a message over on Instagram at Rachel Solway Level Up, and I'll see you on the next one.